Hey everyone, Matthew here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic Friday. Today is December 26th, 2025, and you're watching the Daily Nasdaq Futures Recap. Today, we're breaking down the post-holiday price action, analyzing the macro landscape, and doing a deep dive into every trade executed by our algorithmic system. Let's jump right into the data. Market news and landscape. Today is Boxing Day, and as expected, the holiday hangover was in full effect. While some investors returned to their desks, many remained offline, leading to a notably light economic calendar. With no major tech earnings to act as a catalyst after the bell, the market lacked a clear fundamental direction, keeping volatility compressed and the overall environment relatively calm. The overnight session. The market reopened at 6 p.m. with Nasdaq Futures essentially flat, hovering right around the 25,880 level. With European markets closed for the holiday, we saw extremely thin liquidity and narrow ranges. It was a classic quiet night on the charts, with very little participation from the big institutions. Morning session and the U.S. Open. As we rolled into the morning, the sideways grind continued. Around 6:30 a.m., we saw a slight push higher, prompting our algorithm to signal a long entry. However, the 9:30 a.m. U.S. cash open brought a bit of a mixed bag. Tech sector. We saw early dips in Tesla, Palantir, and Intel. Nvidia provided a bright spot, showing strength as it broke above the 191 level. Alternatives. Silver and Bitcoin both caught a bid, with Bitcoin testing the 89,500 mark. Despite these individual moves, the index itself remained trapped in a tight range. That initial long position was eventually stopped out for a small loss. Our system quickly pivoted into another long, followed by a few scalping attempts before noon. By the midday break, we were sitting at a modest $47 loss. Afternoon session and close. The afternoon didn't bring much of a volume surge. In these thin conditions, the robot identified a short opportunity that we closed for a quick profit, narrowing our daily loss to $38. In the final stretch before the closing bell, the system executed two more trades, one loser and one winner. We ultimately wrapped up the session with a total loss of $45 for the day. In a low liquidity environment like today, the goal is often capital preservation, and we managed to keep the drawdown very tight. Summary and key takeaways. To wrap things up, today was a textbook Boxing Day session. With limited participants and the lack of market-moving data, the index simply lacked the momentum needed for a breakout. The weekly view. Trading days. 3.5 days. Total weekly profit. $224. Given the holiday distractions and the thin volume, finishing the week up $224 is a solid result for just one contract of the E-micro futures. It's all about staying consistent and letting the system work, even during the slow weeks. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's recap. It's always a pleasure to share these insights and be transparent with our algorithmic performance. I'm Matthew. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you all next week for the final trading days of the year.